As soon as this man entered the unfamiliar area, a strange uneasiness started running through him. He felt that something was wrong with the atmosphere. In front of him, two poor men were given the false promise of freedom and were told that if they wanted to run, the path was open. But as soon as they had barely taken 10 steps, straight into their hearts, arrows were shot and they were taken down. This scene shook Nick to his core. He hadn't even fully understood this painful scene, yet when suddenly his friend White handed him a bag full of diamonds, worth billions, Nick felt something was off. And just as he was about to ask, White said, "Run, you have only 2 minutes." That's when Nick realized that the very friend he had blindly trusted had trapped him in a deadly game. And not just any game, but one where rich people hunt living human beings, and all just for their own entertainment. But Nick kept his composure, as if this game didn't affect him at all because he didn't have to fight, he just had to survive and get out of there. He picked up the bag and quietly tried to step back, but just then, he was surrounded from all sides by guards armed with weapons. Now, White removed the mask of friendship from his face and said, "Nick, you're getting a 2-minute head start. After that, the game begins." Now, Nick had no other way. To save his life, he ran toward the woods with the speed of a wolf. Exactly 2 minutes later, the rich hunters entered the forest with their guns to chase him. But they had no idea that their prey could turn into a hunter himself, because Nick was no ordinary man. He was an Olympic medalist and world champion boxer. Even after chasing for a long time, the hunters couldn't find any trace of him. Meanwhile, Nick kept moving forward tirelessly and with full confidence. After some time, he reached the bank of a river, but the sight there blew his mind. A woman's dead body was lying in the water, with arrows pierced into her body. It was a clear sign that she too had fallen victim to this deadly game. But now, the danger for Nick was about to increase even more, because one of the hunters, who was wearing a hat, turned out to be very clever. He came up with a plan and quietly climbed up a high hill without saying anything to anyone. Looking down from there, he saw Nick drinking water. Without wasting any time, he fired at Nick, but luck was with Nick. He jumped behind a tree at lightning speed. The hunter quickly started running down the slope. Meanwhile, Nick got a little more time and immediately jumped into the river. By the time the hunter reached down, Nick had already escaped. The hunter looked around in frustration, but he had no idea that what cannot be seen is even more dangerous, because Nick was now standing right behind him. And this time, the game was in Nick's hands. In the next moment, Nick grabbed him and pulled him into the water, then gave him 2 powerful punches. But the hunter was clever too. He immediately pulled out a stun baton. Now Nick's life was truly in danger. But Nick was a seasoned player. He showed no mercy. Using all his strength, he launched a deadly combo attack on the hunter, causing him to crash straight into a big rock, and he fell dead right there. A short while later, when the other hunters arrived, his body had already turned cold and lifeless.